make the strings.
Good morning, guys. So we're headed down to the shop to take delivery of my brand new car. So it's not that brand new, and it's not really a whole car. Well, it is a whole car, but it's kind of a wreck of a whole car. And the plan is, well, you'll see what the plan is when we get there. But I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for this. It's probably gonna have to sit on the back burner for a little while, but until then, we'll do some cool things with it, maybe. All the way from North Carolina. All right, guys. Now that she's off the trailer, and so anyhow, I got this thing all the way from North Carolina. I got it at the insurance auto auction. You can see, said it starts. The batteries in it is dead right now, but you can see you got the pretty decent sized collision over here. Honestly, you could probably throw a fender and a hood and a headlight and a radiator and all that crap in it and make it work, but that's not the point of this project. So I honestly kind of don't know the point of this project. For the most part, I just bought this thing because one of you guys commented, well, actually a bunch of you guys have commented over the past couple months telling me that you know, when I was talking about putting a Barra in the Mustang over there, that I should do like an OM606, and I never really looked into it too much. So then I said, you know, one day somebody finally commented, and I was like, all right. I got on YouTube, watched compilation, watched some you know, Super Diesel Pump UK videos, some Diesel Mankin or whatever. Like the guy, basically those guys are, I think, the two main ones that do a lot of stuff with the pumps and make decent power. So anyhow, this thing is a it is the OM606 Mercedes Turbo Diesel. This is a 99 E300 with the turbo diesel in it, which is sweet. I can't get the hood popped right now. I will in a second though. It's got 246,000 miles, a nice blue interior, which is kind of rad. I don't know, I mean, this thing looks like it's just made out of like super solid heavy metal, but yeah, I really want to see if I could get this hood popped open, which it looks like we're close. I just need like a pry bar, so give me a second. So I don't know if this is how you're supposed to get a hood open or not. I guess we'll see. I think we're straightening it out a little bit, so hopefully we could pop the little guy in there. Actually, did we break it? Nope, it's still hooked in there. Can't really get into that guy either. It's all just bent and pissed. I don't know. We're gonna try to get it open. Well, shit, boys, there she is. OM606. So this is basically, like I said earlier, inline six, single turbo from the factory. It's a dual overhead cam, 24 valve. From the factory, they have an electronic, basically injection pump on them. And what you could do is you go ahead, in the aftermarket situation, you go ahead and you pull off this pump, because this is a 606. I believe you get a pump off of a 603, which is the single cam version of this from the previous generations. I think from like 92 to, I think something like that, 92 to 97. And it's a 100% mechanical pump, so it's basically like an old 12 valve Cummins, if you guys are familiar with those. And so I'm gonna try to get this radiator support pushed out a little bit, or pulled out a little bit, so that way at least I can you know, set the air filter box back kind of where it needs to go, maybe throw a filter on there. And since this thing did say it ran, I would like to start it. You can see the fan blade is into the radiator. I don't want to mess with this thing. I don't know, I do want to mess with this thing a lot. That's the bad thing about getting a new car. But hopefully you guys are stoked. Yeah, it looks like the little PCV thing busted off. But I'm really stoked to have one of these engines. I watched entirely too many videos on YouTube about it. If you guys are curious what I paid for it, it was $475 plus all the fees. And you know, because I do go through a broker on the auction. I mean, after all that stuff, it was like $600. Then I paid right at $1,000 to ship it here. So I have like $1,600 in this whole car. I was looking at them on Craigslist. People sell these things between you know, obviously I could probably find one on Craigslist for 1,500 bucks, but I didn't, and this one just popped up, and I was like, okay, well, the nice thing about this one is that it is wrecked, and I'm not gonna try and save it and daily it or do something stupid like that. It just gives me a good excuse just to yank the engine out of it right away and not go crazy with it. So I think I'm gonna try to give this thing a little bit of a tug. All right, so this thing's been on the charger for a little while. The battery's only, I kicked it off, I guess. Okay, so it's only like 12.6 or something like that. So we'll put it on the high start big dog. See if we'll get this guy to crank over. So that way I can at least pull it in the shop and yank the radiator support out just a smidge. There's a little wait to start light, like right down there in the corner. Nope, nothing. Cranking super slow, so thing needs to charge more. Damn it. Just fire up, come on. I know you want to. Damn it. Alright guys, so we got it inside, it didn't start. The mass airflow sensor wiring is all boogered or whatever right there, and it had a mass airflow sensor code and then like a fuel shutoff valve code. But it says starts. It says starts up there on the windshield, so it should have started. But anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this radiator support out just a little bit. It already moves pretty easy. Like if you stand on this thing, it would almost pull it out. Let's see. We'll start tugging on it, so at least we could get like the airbox and stuff out of the way, and you know the cooler is like jammed up into the radiator, or, like the fans and stuff. So. Huh? Yeah. So the time-lapse little thing died on me, but basically yanked out the radiator. I went ahead and I just busted off that end cap of it, the plastic one, because it was already broken anyhow, and this is the tranny cooler. So I figured this way I don't, you know, if I do get it started, it isn't gonna be like squirting tranny fluid everywhere. And I could at least like pull it in and out of the shop and do stuff like that. Upper radiator hose, there's a little bit of rusty crap looking in there. But yeah, did end up finding the mass airflow sensor wires, and they're kind of hanging out down here. If you guys have never used these things, they're pretty rad. Basically what it is like a little heat shrink tubing with some like adhesive in here, like some silicone adhesive, and then some low temp solder right there on the inside. And I think I got these off of Amazon or eBay. If I could find it, I'll put the link in the description. But they work really well. I already did this one right here, and you can see it shrinks itself to the wire right there. Oh, sorry, I need to cut my damn fingernails. But you can see it shrinks itself to the wire, and then solders itself, and then seals it right there. So it's nice too, because you just use a heat gun. I still need to do these 3 ones right here. You get to focus on it. It's pretty cool because you'll see the solder and everything actually melt. See that yellow one did right there. Alright guys, well it finally started. I don't know. So obviously rewired the mass airflow sensor. Did a little bit of ether trying to get her going, and it still wasn't doing anything. So then I was over here playing with it on this little code reader, and was trying to read the codes and do all that stuff. The code came back, so we'll see what it says. Yeah, it fired up.
Yeah, boost gauge or what? Right.
Like the engine's not really that loud. I kind of feel like that. up a little bit.
Well, don't let it run forever with no coolant. So we did the emissions delete on this.
Kind of stinks. Dave's making a custom intake.
Yeah, I make all kinds. Mustang, Mercedes, you know.
What else?
If you need intake, I got you.
Just hit up Dave.
Yeah, just hit up Dave for davescustomintakes.com.
Yeah. Yeah, see this this thing had a, well, the filter was all broken and busted and all that stuff, and I seen that filter laying up there because I really want to do a burnout in this thing. So I went ahead and I put some coolant in it, or some water. I put water in it in this radiator. I sealed up the heater core deals. Now we're putting on the turbo thing, the little intake, so we can plug in the mass airflow sensor again. The injection pump over here is leaking a lot. Yeah, I feel like it's been leaking for a long time, but maybe we'll still be able to get like a burnout or something out of it. I'm not sure, but it's leaking a little bit. And the tranny cooler too.
Too big. Dripping a little bit of fuel. No. Hey, you wanna give it the good old tire shine? I mean, you could always pull it in here to do a burn off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Traction control. Hey, try doing one outside now. Yeah, nothing. Hi. How hot's it? I mean, the engine's like, the radiator is smoking now. The radiator looks like it might be hot.
Oh yeah.
They're probably open. Yeah, just put water on the radiator. Hey, just put water.
Just do a burnout right there.
Yeah, you did it like on the edge.
Just one with a tail too.
Yeah. The other times there's two. do it again or what?
The fluid's coming down.
Right. What was it at?
It was like getting close to 100, which I don't know what that is. Like, what, 2 something, 210?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's coming down.
Huh?
Yeah, it's coming down. You know, water's cold. It should pull that radiator off.
I wish I could do a donut or something, or go like drive it.
Yeah. Tight. Got some tire down there. What temp are you at? It looks like it's tire.
So I'm gonna say that's gonna conclude this this little video. This is definitely not gonna be the primary focus of any projects right now. This was just kind of one of those things that popped up, and I seen it, and I was like, you know, I definitely want to do one of these things in the future. There is engines for sale. I think that I found an engine on eBay for like 1,900 bucks plus shipping. The bad thing about that is you don't really know what you're getting into. You can't like start it, you can't drive it around, you can't do a burnout. You know, as far as wiring and all that other stuff, like I don't know how wiring one of these electronic injection pumps would be into an aftermarket like a car. I haven't really done any research as far as that goes. But the mechanical ones are super easy. Literally, it's like, I mean, it's mechanical. So you like turn a valve on and turn a valve off, like to turn them on and off. Hook up a wire to the alternator and the starter, and I'm pretty sure you're good to go. The one thing is, since these things only rev to like 5 grand, or that's about where people say you should rev them to, is you know, drifting, you're definitely taking your power band and like narrowing it a lot, especially since the turbos on these things don't seem to really spool that great. Even a lot of the videos and stuff I've watched online, they don't really spool that great. So especially if you have a decent sized turbo, the ones that make like 400 and, you know, 400 to 500 horse. Pretty much everything I've done research-wise, you put the mechanical pump on here and you put a turbo, you know, obviously with supporting mods like radiator intercooler, and crank up the boost, and you know, they easily make like 400 or 500 horse. They sound really cool because they actually do rev decently high, but you know, you're kind of getting away from technology in that aspect. You kind of tune them like with like this little fuel ramp thing, and there's some screws and stuff on the pump. I'm not an expert on these things, obviously. This is my first one. I've done a lot of looking online, kind of gandering, but this was my first experience actually seeing one. And thank you guys for actually kind of pointing them out to me and kind of making me look into them. So this is a front sump configuration. The oil pan is in the front, and it looks very similar to a front sump JZ. And I mean, size-wise, I mean, I feel like they're very similar. This one's probably a little bit longer, but I do think it would be kind of cool to swap it into something. The Mustang is more of a rear sump configuration, so are Supras, but we got like an S14 or a 240, they're more of a front sump configuration. So that would be, you know, maybe an easier swap. As far as, you know, my plans with this, will be aftermarket mechanical fuel pump, or send it out, have it rebuilt or whatever. Because you cannot use this electronic one to like make all the power. They make turbo manifolds. They also make a manifold adapter to adapt to a T4 which would be kind of cool. And there's also a company in the UK, I think it's Diesel Pump UK, and they do pumps, and they make a transmission adapter to adapt a BMW like the, I believe like the Getrag, like the 5 or the 6 speeds to these, so you could do more so of a you know, a transmission that's available over here in the United States, and you could actually have a manual behind one of these. You can get, this is a 210 body style, and the 211 body styles like the W203, there's a 6-speed manual option for those. But I guess they're not super strong. I don't know a whole lot of that. That's still need to do a lot more research, but for now it runs and drives. I can move it around. I'm probably just gonna park it and not really pay attention to it for the next, you know, probably month or 2 or 3. But you know, this is definitely one of those projects that you know, like I said, kind of always wanted to do, or recently have wanted to do. I've seen videos a long time ago on the Black Smoke Racing channel on YouTube. I've watched some of their videos, them drifting over in, I believe it's the UK, not 100% sure, but they drift in one of those. So any knowledge, any recommendations are definitely appreciated. Obviously I don't know a whole lot about this thing, you know, other than how to cut off the exhaust, but it did seem really laggy, and the fuel pump is definitely, or the fuel over here is leaking fuel. I never really went over some of the features that are actually in here, but one of the cool things is these headrests. If you go like this, it's a power headrest, which is pretty cool. I never knew that. And then right here for the steering wheel, it has this thing. So it's a power telescoping steering wheel. And it's supposed to like tilt too, but it doesn't tilt. The other cool thing is it has this weird cup holder. Kind of reminds me of the Saab. So it goes down and then it comes up, and then it like spreads out. It goes like that, and it works really good for holding a camera. And this is like the perfect size for an energy drink. Ashtray. Right here it's got a bunch of, you know, it has a 6-disc changer. It has a Bose sound system. It has like a hidden compartment. So right here, it has like an air conditioning vent inside here. So if you wanted to keep like drinks or something cool. And then right here, it actually has a more so of like a hidden, not hidden, but you know what I'm saying. Glove box is decent size. It's got, you know, sunroof, the little garage door opener thing. I think automatic sensing rear window thing. I don't know, I mean, there's decent technology, and I mean, honestly, I really do feel like this thing is built like a freaking tank, just based upon like the metal and stuff that's on it. I mean, if you look at this like frame rail right here, look at that thing. It's like the unibody coming right out behind the tire, which is good because it protects like the passengers' like feet in the, you know, the chance of an accident. I mean, the paint on this thing is really nice. This thing has 250,000 miles, and I mean, it shines really nice. I'm assuming it wasn't garaged. But I'm rambling. This has been pretty long, but I do appreciate you guys watching and you know, giving me suggestions. I do want to swap it in something. I think it's either going to be a Supra, an S14, or the Mustang, but time will tell. See you guys later.